y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. We are making some vegan birria tacos today. No beef at all, just a meatless eat that is perfect for all you vegans out there. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and let's get this recipe started. You want to start off with some canned jackfruit that you drain and take the seeds out of, and also pull it apart to resemble chicken. I'm going to be seasoning my birria tacos or my jackfruit with thyme, sage, liquid smoke, rosemary, adobo, nutmeg, and black pepper. All the measurements will be in the description box. We're going to be using Pasilla, Guajillo, and Ancho peppers. I'm using 3 of each. We're also going to use some cilantro, a tomato, 2 limes, 6 cloves of garlic, a half of a red onion, Sazon, oregano, thyme, ground pepper, ground cumin, allspice, salt and pepper, and 2 bay leaves. That was a mouthful to say. But what you see me doing now is putting it on a baking sheet and squeezing out all of that liquid, because you really want it to have that texture of meat as best as possible, and this helps with that. If you happen to spot garlic and onion powder in this shot, I didn't use it, so don't get confused, okay? Alright, so I grabbed the knife and I'm gonna be putting half of that onion into the birria. Why do I keep saying that? Jackfruit. I'm cutting it in half for right now, and then I'm gonna save the other half for the sauce. So keep it very close. I'm also adding 2 cloves of garlic to the jackfruit just to have that garlicky taste to it. This is gonna be so good, y'all. Grab your peppers as well and a pair of scissors, because you're gonna have to cut them in half and take all the seeds out. You can leave the seeds in, some people do, but I actually prefer to take them out. I'm adding in 2 cups of water, 2 to 3 cups of water to a pot. And I'm gonna put this pot on the stove at like a medium high heat so it can start boiling for about 10 minutes. I said boiling, but you know I meant boiling for 10 minutes. I also preheated a cast iron skillet to a medium high heat as well, and I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So you want to go ahead and add your onions to the pot, whatever that thing is, maybe a pan. But you want to add that to the pan and you want to cook them until they're translucent. I'm also adding in my jackfruit just so they can marry together. I was like, ooh, this smells so good already, and I haven't even done nothing. As you can see, I'm seasoning this jackfruit with all of the seasonings that I mentioned in the video. That first set of seasonings, by the way. I'm seasoning it liberally because I like my food to taste really good and really good. What? Anyways, continue seasoning. And look, y'all, look at those peppers. They are boiling. You want to do this again for at least 10 minutes because it's going to get them really soft. And when it goes in a blender, it's just going to blend very, very smoothly. So I love seeing that. Now, let me tell y'all something about this liquid smoke. Add just a little bit at a time because it's a little bit scary and all you hear is. So be careful with that, okay? I'm just giving you a warning. Okay, so now I'm scraping the bottom of the pan. You do not want to burn the jackfruit, but you do want to allow it to sit in there just so that it can take all the liquid out as best as possible. I took my peppers off the stove and I'm adding them to my blender. I'm going to also be seasoning this with everything that I mentioned earlier in the video. And remember the other half of that onion that we put away? We're adding that to the blender as well, along with some cloves of garlic and a whole tomato. Okay, so I'm having to pack down all these ingredients in my blender because, look, my blender is very, very small. So if you have a bigger blender, this is going to be way easier for you. And that second set of seasonings that I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm adding that into the blender as well. And again, I have to pack down all these ingredients because my baby blender was not trying to work with me. And I'm like, dang. So I'm also taking a cup or a half a cup of that chili water and adding it to my blender. If you have a bigger one, I would suggest adding 1 cup to this mixture, but I can only fit half, so that's what it is. All right, so we're gonna blend this bad boy up. This is my favorite part because it's just fun to watch. But you want to blend it for about, I want to say, about a minute or so, just until it's really smooth. I grabbed a strainer out my cabinet and now I'm straining that sauce right over the jackfruit. Now, this part is going to take a little bit of time, but in all, it's going to be super easy because all you want to do is move that sauce around in that sifter and then add about 3 cups of that chili water to pour over it to get it through the shifter. What is this thing called? I don't know, but get it through that little net thing. So now I'm taking the back of a spatula and just making sure that I get all that sauce out and nothing is left behind because that's all the flavor, honey. It's on the stove now at a medium low heat, and I'm mixing that together just to marry with the jackfruit and make sure that all the flavors are incorporated into this vegetable. Y'all, this is about to be so good and I was super excited at this point. This was a little messy for me, but you want to take that little net thing and you want to pour out all of your jackfruit into it and make sure all the broth is falling into a pot. I'm straining all of that liquid out because I'm going to be using this meat, if you want to say it, on the tacos, and I don't want it to be too soggy, so I'm just taking out all of that broth. Look at that broth, y'all. That's that consomme. I hope I'm saying that right. Now it's time to make our tacos. I'm dipping the tortilla into the broth and I've added some olive oil to the other pan, which is at like a medium-high heat. And I'm just letting it sit there for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and add my meat, and I'm gonna add some cilantro and some vegan mozzarella. I don't remember what the mozzarella cheese company was, but I know it's vegan mozzarella. Maybe you recognize the packaging when I show you, but you'll see it. Okay, I just got a light bulb. The vegan mozzarella is by Follow Your Heart. Honestly, I don't really think that I should have added the mozzarella on there because the vegan mozzarella had a kind of a weird texture to it. So if I were you, I would probably leave this step out. Just eat the meat and the cilantro and it's gonna be super bomb, trust me. But look at this taco, y'all. Look. Watch how it looks up close. Boom! These tacos were so bomb and I did not miss the meat at all. Y'all, if y'all can do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment your variations of how you make this dish or anything else that you want to comment. I am so grateful. Thank you and goodbye.